as you can see on the screen, today we are going to work with strcmp, strncmp and stricmp. They seems to be the same functions. Yes, definitely they are used for the comparison of two strings. As we have seen the string functions in the last lecture, today also we are working with the string functions, but it is a comparison function. These are the three functions which are same for the comparison, but they compare in a different manner. We will see one by one. We will start with strcmp. That means strcmp will do for us, it will compare the two text. Two text means it can be a line, it can be a name, it can be your address, whatever you want to, you put in a two variables and then compare them together. So we say comparison of two given text. So we say there are two text, it can be n, it can be m, and we are comparing the two text whether the both texts are equal or not. For example, if I say Annie is a name and Minnie is a name, so both are not equal, so it should give that these are not equal. But if I say Annie is a name, it will give you the value for Annie is equal. Now the question arises, if I am giving ANI, whether it is equal? No, because we know we have already worked with ASCII, that is ASCII coding, ASCII or ASCII, whatever you are pronouncing. So ASCII coding is there. So every alphabet has its own ASCII coding. So A capital is not matched with the small capital, small a. So that's the reason we are saying like that. So we will see practically first. So how we are going to work with, we have to declare the variables quickly. We will say n is 10 and we will quickly declare one more text. So we will say it's 10 width. You can increase the size, decrease the size according to it. So we say printf, we can put it like this, enter the text 1, or you can put name, yeah, or surname, whatever you want, you can use. So getS we know we have done earlier. We have done the getS, the difference between getS and scanf. If you have not watched that video, please watch that, so that it will be easy for you to get the idea of getS, why we are not using scanf here. So n is a variable and this we have to repeat the steps. So the smart work, we will not type, we just say Control C and Control V is a paste. We just change the variable here and we will say yes, here we have to change text to for the second one. So this is the input statement. Now we have to compare it. So how we are going to compare, we know string function, you have to always and always remember for this also, if the both text are equal, it will return you 0. If they are not, it depends on, it can return you 1 or it can return you -1. When it is returning 1, it is returning 1 if the first alphabet of the first text is greater than the second one, according to ASCII coding. That is another program, we will do that in the coming sessions. So comparison, you have to remember that 0 will be for when the two texts are equal and 1 will be when the first one is greater than, first alphabet is greater than the second one. So we say two texts are equal there. So what you are going to work with, we say Annie and Minnie is there. When the two texts are equal, then the first one is equal to the another. Okay, so strcmp is a function which is used for comparing the two text. So yes, we definitely go with this. We will say if strcmp with the parenthesis n comma m. N is a value, m is a value, both the texts are there and we are comparing it with the 0. We are saying if the value is equal to 0, then we say you are equal. So we say printf two text are equal, okay, with the semicolon. And if they are not equal, then we have to put a else statement here and we will say printf not equal, or whatever you want to put, you can put strings are not equal or something like that with the semicolon. That's it. Now you have to remember always and always this thing, if the both texts are equal, that means case sensitive, that means if they are in a small, as I told you in this example, so we say they are equal. So equal means it is returning 0, and when I say A alphabet, small a is containing its ASCII coding is 97 and capital A is, we know that 65. If you don't know, put that in comment. I'll give one lecture for that also. A is equals to 97, capital A is 65. We know it's a sky coding for it. So yes, definitely 97 is greater than 65. So that time, if the first text is start with the A small and second is start with the capital A, definitely I'll get 1. But if the first one is start with capital, then I get -1. Right? In this way you have to, but we don't have to consider here -1 1 or something like that. But they can ask you in interview that, because we are working on interview level questions, they can ask you when 1 is returning, when -1 is returning, so you should know that also. Okay, so this is all about how string compare is working. If our program is working, we will just go with the program and we will just try to run it with the play button, and we will see whether it's working. Why it's showing some error here? Because we have done something wrong here, some statement we have not put in a comment or something like that. We will see what is going on. So strcmp n comma m, and I am comparing it with 0. Okay, that's great. That means if the both texts are equal, and I'm saying put it in a comment. So yes, definitely we have done the right thing. We just try to run the code and we will see what the error exactly it is giving me. It's giving something. It's not giving me error exactly. It's giving a warning for me, that is implicit declaration that we have done in your earlier chapter of this strings. What we have done that time, we have just put your header file, that's it. So string.h, you will do like this and just try to run the code, and now 101% this should be code run. Yes, it is saying. So I'm giving the same example, any and any two number, two texts are there, two texts are equal. This video seems to be little fast, because I am not in a this is not a communication skill class and we have to just waste your time on other things. I just focus on clearing your concept of strings. Okay, so this is your text 1, this is your text 2, and in this way you are going to compare. If they are getting they are giving you the 0, then the two texts are equal, otherwise they are not equal. This is about strcmp. That means it is comparing the two texts together. Now what about strncmp and stri? I for ignore. Always whenever you are working with MySQL, you are working with Java, you are working with any other, you are working with Python, you are working with C#, I is always for ignoring the case. So you remember this thing. And what is about n? N means you have to compare the number of characters, first 2 character, first 3 character. For example, I'll give you an example here. For example, there is a one name called as Annie and another name is Anik. If in this case, if I try to run the case, now I say A and I, I'm just putting like this, A and I, and next name is Anik. So for this program, they are not equal. See, it's saying that they are not equal. But if I consider like this, if I say strncmp, n means number of characters. So if I mention comma with 3, that means you have to compare the 3 characters, that is first 3 characters. It is not any number of random 3 characters, no, first 3 characters. So if I just try to run the code again and I just put same thing again, I say Annie and next time I say Anik. So earlier it was saying not equal, now it will say the two texts are equal. Why? The reason behind, because I'm saying I am not going to compare all the texts, I'm saying I have to compare only 2 characters here. Okay, but if I consider 4 here, if I just say run strncmp now and I just say again Annie and I say Anik, one has 3 characters, one has 4 characters, so this is not equal. So in this way you can go with the n. N means number of character you want to compare. Okay, if you are not using any n with it and you are just putting strncmp and you are just trying to be smart and like this, it will not work. It will give you an error. See, it is giving error. It is saying that you have done wrong thing. So whenever you are using ncmp, you need to put extra parameter with it. that is how many characters you want to. That should be within your range. If you have mentioned 4 characters in first text and 5 in second, so you have to between 2 3, it can be like this. You can't compare it 6 and 6 like characters, isn't it? So this way you have to always remember. N means, now clear, N means number of characters to compare. strcmp means all the characters we want to compare. I means what? Now if I just try to run the code again, I just delete this n here. N means it's clear to us now. Now if I just try to run the code again and I just put like this, okay, I have not, I think, deleted first ncmp. Oh, there is a comma, that's the reason it is saying. So these are the silly things which you have to always and always, by making mistakes, remember, always by making mistakes you will always rock in coding. If you will not make any mistake, you just put a code, you just take the code from resources, from any YouTube video or from your internet AI or something like that, from chat GPT or somewhere, just paste it and just try to run it. It will be okay and you will say, I will learn, I have learned the coding. No, when you make the mistakes, then you learn the coding. Okay, enter the text one. Text one is your any, and I say capital any. So see, as I told you, these are the sky coding different, so it will say not equals to, isn't it? But now game changing. If I say stricmp, so the function is same, but I have put just I in between. So if I just try to run the code again and I just use that thing again, I say any and capital Ni. Now this time it will say two text are equal. You can see on the screen. Why? The reason behind is I am ignoring the case. Ignoring means this is a capital, this is a small. I just mentioned that you just have to ignore the case and just they are the equal names. That's why you have to put as a they are equal alphabets. So this is all about strcmp, strncmp, stricmp. This is a question which is generally asked in interviews, and sometimes we are very confused because we always do this, but we are not concentrating on these, so we get stuck there. So please do this, and that's it for today. So if you really find this video helpful, please share it with your friends, put a thumbs up, subscribe the channel. I'll meet you in the next chapter, and let me know in the comment what you really want to work with and what you want to learn in future. Thank you so much for watching.